to send an API for Sentry kind of way. So the end result should look like this. Just send something like that. You send API to Sentry, and I'll just quickly demo it. So and then so yeah, the result gonna look something like this. And then so yeah, the result should be when you do this, and when you go to your dashboard, you should be able to see this. So um, yeah. So that's how it should happen. Um, so yeah, assume that you already know how to create projects and stuff. Just hit create projects, choose what it is, or it doesn't matter what the SDK is. Well, so all right. So let's get started with doing it. So the first thing is we are going to create a new request. Let's say you're using Postman, it's going to be quite similar. So the first thing is we're going to need to build the link for the URL, and the method should be post. And so in your projects, right, you go to your project settings, and here you would see the client key. In the client key, you will see the base endpoint here. So these are what you're gonna need to call. These are what you're gonna need to use. Basically, it should be fairly straightforward. So you just copy, and we're gonna do a bit of change at the end. So once we have that, and the way to send it is actually using Sentry envelope. So in order to do that, we are going to get to the doc of the envelope. So post API and project ID and an envelope. So if we look at here, we see, yeah, API, here's the project ID, it already did for us. In the last bit, we need to change this envelope. So that's what I'm going to do. Look. So it should be fairly straightforward. We're testing it. Yeah, not found yet. But technically it should be there. So not a big deal now, right? And then what we are going to do next is we're gonna need to follow a couple of things. So once we find this, we won't remember any of those. We would need those ones. So in order to send this, we going to need the first thing is the 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 first thing is we need to be able to send the data in, and it's gonna have so the payload, which is so we're gonna have the headers, the item, and the payload. So that's the grammar for it. And its type is text envelope. So how we're gonna do that is we are going to, so once we have put check of these, we should be able to, so the first thing we're going to do is in this header here, we need the content type. And I'm gonna find it here. Let's see if I can find that. That auto. So the content type what we are going to use is the envelope type. So and it should be so it would contain the application exchange envelope. So that's what we're gonna use for this content type, and then exchange envelope. So that's the first one. The next one is the body. So in the body we'll use text, and it's gonna have 3 of those. So first we are just going to copy what they have. So they're gonna have it's gonna have 3 things. So the first is a header, second is the item, the third one is a payload. So we got a header. So this is a header. So the first I will just copy everything. Modify that. So event ID. So this is a UUID. So which is something we need to treat to generate. So I'm going to generate this. But now for the DSM, remember all of them got to be in the same something. We need to make sure it happens. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. So and we're all chasing. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So type I'll just I'll just go with event. This one is simple. And so the DSM is where you're gonna be able to find the DSM just so we just copy that. Oopsie. And then that. Okay, so since we already have this, we we don't really need type event here. This is gone. Now, yep, and then the method, the level, and then we can more stuff into it, which is based on this. So the envelope item, where we can put, and it's an envelope payload, so we can put all these in, like event ID timestamp. So that's quite good. Timestamp, well, so we can check when it is, when it happens. Yeah, so something we can put in timestamp, and then length, longer, like all these things we can put in as well. But to keep it simple, we will just put in that. Now, once everything is done, let's send. Okay, let me check. Suicide not found. And so I will quickly check, make sure that I hello, just US trade IO. Okay, right. So I think the missing bit is this one. So if I send it again, okay, authentication header. So right. So I have event ID, DSN. I'll check this quickly. Huh. Yeah, this is sometimes it's fail a little bit. Okay. Okay, I think. So actually they need to be in 3 lines. So reset that again. Yeah. So yeah, this thing in 3 lines, and then that in 2 lines. So now we check it. We should be able to see that hello world we just sent. So yeah, that's how we send the API with Sentry. We can of course explore this a bit further in terms of like when it happens and things like that. So yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Yeah, that's basically how you should send call with Sentry. If we ever need to call the REST API and sending event. Yeah. Well, thanks for having check it out, and yeah, I'll see you guys then.